Thank you. And thank you, AG Rayfield and Mays and James. Honored to stand with you once again. I want to start by acknowledging the incredible coalition of attorneys general working together to hold the federal government accountable. We're always stronger when we stand united. This is another example of that. At its core, this lawsuit is about protecting everyday Americans from the harmful effects of unlawful tariffs. President Trump's tariffs hurt families, they raise the cost of goods, and make it harder for businesses to operate. California proudly is home to the fourth largest economy in the world. We're the nation's largest importer and the second largest exporter. Millions of families and businesses, large and small, and manufacturers right here in California feel the ripple effects of tariffs immediately. Higher prices in our grocery stores, higher supply costs for local manufacturers, and disruption for businesses that rely on global trade. All 39 million Californians depend on an affordable, predictable economy, and these illegal tariffs undermine all of that. Trump is trying to use an obscure law to push through tariffs that his co-equal branch of Congress, not the president alone, is supposed to authorize. Simply put, the law does not allow this, and we won't stand by while it's broken. Last year, we went to court to challenge Trump's illegal imposition of tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEPA, of 1977. Last month, the Supreme Court struck down those tariffs as unlawful, rightfully so, tracking our exact arguments in this coalition. Today, we're back for round two because instead of accepting the ruling, the president doubled down. He raised the tariffs first to 10% and then announced he'd raise them to 15% under Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. Again, Section 122 is an obscure law that has never before been invoked. It's never been relied on before, ever, in its 52-year history. It relies on an outdated system of currency exchange that we don't even use anymore, which means it's entirely irrelevant in this case. In fact, the president's tariffs don't meet any of the requirements of the law. In short, Section 122 doesn't grant the president the authority to impose these tariffs. He's desperately grasping at straws here. The president's rationale for these unlawful tariffs has gone from unreasonable to ridiculous. This is the 60th time since he took office that California has had to step in and take the Trump administration to court to protect our people and our economy from unlawful federal overreach. President Trump ran on the promise of making life more affordable for families, yet here he is, breaking the law to make life more expensive for Americans, literally working overtime, stretching and reaching so far as to break the law in order to raise costs for Americans. At the end of the day, for us, this isn't about political gamesmanship. It's about making sure our communities aren't paying the price for Trump's inability to take an L. Together, we'll continue to push back against unlawful federal overreach and make sure the president follows the law. When the federal government acts outside its authority, we'll be here to put a stop to it.